Okay, so alumni profile today, we've got Louis French, who's a graduate from sports coaching and physical education and graduated in 2023. So we're a few months after that now. So, Louis, can you tell us what you've been up to since then?
Yeah, so obviously graduated July 2023, um, completed my employment as a teaching assistant at a secondary school, and then in September of 2023, I've begun my PGCE with the University of Bedfordshire, and I am working in a secondary school in the PE department, completing my PGCE there, and that is within the Academy Transformation Trust program.
Okay, and I understand you've been offered employment after that, and I think you said was it the earliest time that someone's been offered employment in the PGCE? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I was contacted by someone I worked with in the industry before. They notified me to a job that was going to be available to begin in July. A staff member was leaving their department, so through connections and working with that person before, they've kind of sort of signposted me to apply for this role. Interviewed for that and been offered a position to begin in July. Yeah.
Great. So is this what you anticipated doing when you joined the course? Were you always heading down this path? Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually began the course in the October, so I began in week 5 of the course. Um, I had a big sort of decision to make on where I wanted to go. Was looking at joining the forces, had a conversation with some people, and then the COVID backlog sort of put that on hold for a little while. So decided that yeah, I'd like to go into teaching. So got in contact with admissions at ARU. Um, Understood that obviously I was going to be joining the course 5 weeks late. 5 weeks late, so there's a bit of catching up to be done. And yeah, just being on the course sort of really confirmed it for me. And then joined some employment in a school placement whilst on the course, and that really sort of confirmed things for me. This is definitely what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you were vocationally certain because a lot of your peer students are not vocationally certain when they start the
Yeah,
courses. Um, and also it's interesting that you started late because you thrived on the course because you graduated in the end with first class honours. So
yeah.
well done. Okay. What was the journey like to where you are now? So you've told us a little bit about that, but is teaching what you expected it to be, for instance, and how did that develop?
Um, it's very different. I learned a lot of good things in my time on the course at ARU, which still stick with me now. The translation from the coaching side of things that applied directly to the teaching has been really helpful. Um, and then, like I say, I was employed as a teaching assistant. So now stepping the other side of that line of being support to being the teacher has been, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's been very different. Um, Perhaps not fully what I expected. I think that I had a lot more to learn than I thought I did. But my mentors here at the school are amazing. The head of PE is my mentor. One of the strongest teachers that I've seen. So I've got a lot of really good experience and still connections within ARU. So and with the Bedfordshire course as well. So I've got a lot of connections that are really helping me through. But it has been a bit of an eye opener perhaps. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's good.
Good. Excellent. So the learning never stops, right? Even after
Yeah,
graduation.
that's it. That's it.
You touched upon this, but anything else about the role of the course in your developmental journey?
Yeah, so obviously we were sort of the COVID year that started. So the first year was all online. Second year we came back in and we got to, actually begin coaching and teaching. We got to do the Easter camp, which was a really valuable experience for us.
Mhm.
Because it's all well and good teaching, you know, peers that are on the course that are all motivated by sport and wanted to be there and were engaged. Then when you go to an Easter camp where some of the parents just needed a bit of childcare for a couple of days over the half term, and the kids have turned up and they do not want to be there.
Mm.
And the things we've learned about in terms of our breaking barriers down and stuff like that, we had to actually apply rather than like a mock scenario that we had in
Mm.
our lessons.
Yeah, so it's real and authentic. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
okay, what did you find most enjoyable and most challenging about the course?
I think we had a really good group. We were a small group, which meant the support from staff was, second to none. I can imagine that it was more difficult with, bigger groups trying to get that more tailored support that we had. So that was really good. And can't fault the staff for the support we had throughout the entire 3 years of our course, even being online and stuff like that. I guess COVID was a big challenge for us. We had to take extra measures when we came back into our face-to-face sessions. being a physical course as well, to be stuck behind a computer trying to sort of, I remember first year we had some sessions where we were, coaching people from a PowerPoint. That's not what coaching looks like in everyday life, but I suppose it did through the pandemic. So it was a valuable thing and a challenge as well. It sort of kind of showed us how that, just because some circumstances are in your way, it doesn't mean you can't provide a means to break the barrier down.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you recommend to someone considering starting the course, perhaps?
Things that I've known, so I've got friends that have been at other universities and done very similar courses. The opportunities that we had in terms of working with the council, working with external partners, the live briefs, are things that not everyone gets to do. So that was really good for us to sort of work with industry leaders and work within the local area and the councils to take what we're learning in the classroom to apply it to the real world. So when it comes to us stepping out into employment, we've had that experience, and it's not a sort of a lovely conditioned university experience. We're thrown out into the real world to deal with real people in real industries in real professions. That was really, really good.
Yeah. What advice would you give to students already on the course? Could you give us 3 top tips if they were watching this?
Yeah, keep yourself organised. Like to think I stayed ahead of the game. Keep on top of your assignments. Things come up in lectures in week 1 and 2, and your assignment's not due until perhaps week 13. Just make a little note. This might come up if you know what the structure of your assignment's going to be. You've got a little snippet there. Come back to it. Your week 1 notes, week 2 notes are all going to be valuable, and just take every opportunity that comes your way. I'd like to think that being the COVID year, we had our first year sort of knocked down a little bit. So we, as a group, took on every opportunity we got. We engaged in all the extra stuff, really engaged with the live brief, stuff like that, and the industry partners. So as much as they may seem sometimes extra work, definitely valuable, and apply what you're doing in your, like I mentioned earlier, your conditioned university environment into the real world, which definitely helps when it comes to employment and stepping outside into the big wide world.
Yeah, great advice. Okay, so moving into finally any other business. So as an alumnus of the course, I'll ask you if there's anything else you want to add, but just something from me, first of all. I know we've had informal discussions that in the long run, you'd be interested in management positions in education. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've seen some really...
Just had a power cut. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, of course, I've lost it. Oh, that was going so well.